Hello and welcome everybody back to the channel. I am your host Vortex from MobileMusicPro.com, your home for mobile music production. And we have a very special video for you here today because recently we held a contest to celebrate the release of our brand new LoFi Sample Pack. There was just a ton of amazingly fire submissions in there, but we did have to pick a few winners. And so now we'd like to show you a breakdown of those top 4 winners and how they made their track. Now, if you did want to hear the full version of all 4 of these tracks, then definitely make sure to head over to our website at MobileMusicPro.com/contest, where you'll be able to hear not only the top 4 winners, but also a bunch of the honorable mentions as well. But before we do start this video, I did just want to offer a quick disclaimer to let you guys know that while these 4 producers are amazing producers, they're not exactly content creators, so some of the video here is going to be a little bit rough, as this is just not something that they do on a day-to-day basis, recording themselves making music. So definitely be a little bit lenient with them, and again, we very much thank them so much for their time, for putting in this effort to be able to do this breakdown so that hopefully new producers can learn a little bit more from them. Alright, and now with that intro aside, let's hop right into these winning contest entry breakdowns.
I think I always stop playing until I get some nice chords. For the piano, I used the piano sample from the sample pack. To make it sound a little softer, I used the equalizer. Some low pass filter. Reverb. More reverb. And some stereo width. Here I added some pads with a new Synthmaster 2 to make the piano sound a little wider. And of course, the bass guitar tried to make it sound as melodic as possible. Now it's a time when I feel the song enough to add a beat that works with it. Some percussions, of course, too, and all sounds except the pads and some synth later are from the sample pack. It's a song about a conversation, and the bells represent person number 1 in this conversation. Flute, sure, person number 2. They agree somehow, as you can hear in the melody. This synth stands for the subtext in the conversation. So I didn't want to make it stand out too much in the mix, but still recognizable. Here the two persons start to agree more and more and finish their sentences. I wanted to make it a happy ending. I used several filters on some tracks, but let me just show what I did on the main track. Here I used the spin FX for some transitions and the master strip FX. There's a LoFi factory preset, I just adjusted a little bit.
Yes. I go by the name of T-Real on the beat. I'm a producer from the UK, Nottingham to be exact. And yeah, I've been following MobileMusicPro for a while now. So I'm just gonna dive right into it. So on here, you can see I've got the Melody 1 and I'm using Beatmaker 3, so this is my DAW of choice. So as you can see, I pulled up this loop here and this is the one out of the sample pack. There's quite a few to choose from, which were all dope, but this one is the one that kind of stood out to me. Some nice motifs going on there. But for me, as soon as I hear something, I just know that's it. And for me, it was literally just the first bar. Chopped all the other parts and tried to put them in, but I thought, just keep it simple. This one there is the one that's doing it for me. And what I've done is just added in a few effects on here. So I added tape cassette 2, which gives it, you might have heard like the noise on there. You can see some of the settings that I used. So I turned up the low pass a bit to give it that bit of a fill. Saturation, I just kept that as normal. And then I turned up the wow just a little bit and a flutter, which gives it that bit of an edge. Just gives it a bit more of a twang that I like. And then I put in a filter, a low pass. So it kind of cuts out the error bit, but just keeps it concentrated with the frequencies I want to hear. Now, we'll move on to the second part of the melody, which is just the filtered part. So I just added like an extra filter on top of it there. So that's the second one, just to give it a bit of variation. So ones here is without the filter, which I need to take off. And then one is just going to have the filter on. Right, now for the second part, I loaded up a sample from the MMP MIDI pack. So it's just a nice kind of like counter melody to the original first sample which I loaded up. But I just kept that part and I just chopped it all up. The best thing about Beatmaker 3 is just chopping up any loops or samples, so you can just pick and choose whichever parts that you want. So this is the part that I kept in it. So literally just that part. Then, out of the sample pack, I've got the trumpet. I'm going to be using this one quite a bit. But I just followed the C sharp scale and just add a bit of a trumpet in just to give it a bit of a vibe. And what I've done for the effects, Added in some reverb, some delay. This is with it, without any of the effects, dry. Reverb just gives it space in the mix, just pushes it aside, and the delay just gives, I think that gives a bit of a harmonics out of the trumpet. Next, this is kind of like all the perks that I've got out of the MMP kit. Then added in some perks for like the hi-hats. Well, this is a main perk. This is something that I use some of my samples that I've got on here, just to add a bit more emphasis on that rim snare. And then added in some hi-hats. And these ones are all from the pack itself. And these are some of my own hi-hats that I added in. And there's my bass from the MMP pack. Then some kicks. And what I do is add in the 808. This is one of my secret sauce 808s. Me just adding some variation and take them out the bass again. And what I've done on the bass, add a bit of lo-fi dirt, just to give it a bit more of that lo-fi. Gives it that proper scratch sound.
And the first, I'm using the piano chords from the library to generate the chord progressions. Now I have the chords, and then I arrange the chord progressions with the MIDI notes and change some parts over it. For the piano, I make it by myself. For composing, use another chord progressions and find a melody. So, and then the drum programming in this part here, I do it by myself with the studio drummer here over there for Native Instruments. And in the end, drum programming too with the studio drummer from Native Instruments. And I play every bass by hand, so I'm a bass player. I hope this video is now running for you.
Yo, what up, my peeps? What's happening? It's your boy Freaky Daddy, F Dada, Freaky D. And in this video, I'll be doing a breakdown of my beat entry for the just concluded MobileMusicPro beat contest, alright? So without any further ado, let's dive straight into it. Yeah, just let y'all know I did this beat on my iPhone entirely on cubasis 3. Okay, first on the list, what I use, I played a percussion instrument. And this is what I played. So, and this is from the MobileMusicPro Essential Pack 4, Drum Kit 2. I used some sound effects. I used tone boosters, reverb, and also EOS 2 from Audio Damage. Then some delay from Analog Rack named Brini Audio. And I also used Yakuza and a little bit of Lunar Lander. So after the percussion, I played this kick just to accentuate the drum kit I'll be using later on. And this is from the drum kit 5 in the Essential Pack 4. Next, I use this instrument, and this is the chord I played. And this is actually from the same Essential Pack 4, SynSthSea 10. So next, I use the lead, and this lead is from SynSthSea 4. Then in the beginning, I put a crash, just at the beginning there. Next, I did a little drum roll just at the end. And this also from the drum kit 4 in the Essential Pack 4. Next, I use this synth pluck instrument, and this as well from the same Essential Pack 4, SynSthSea 10. Then next after that, I play the bass, and this time around I used Basilicious. This was what I played from Basilicious. And I use this preset, Classic Synth Bass 2. So immediately after that, I went straight to the drum loop. There's this drum loop I found from the same Essential Pack 4, 90 BPM, is drum loop 2, the full. So that is it. So after the drum loops, after this drum loop, the next was this up, and it plays this lead, and this is what I played. And it's SynSthSea 13. Then after that, I saw this percussion loop. So I stretched it just like the others, and it sounds like this. So after this loop, the last instrument I put on the song was this. The name of the song is SynSthSea 18, with the same chord, just basic chord. But I put in this channel strip, took off the filters, and put a low cut filter and a high pass filter and some saturation. Then put a little EQ, took out the low end a little bit and added some mid. Then next, I found this effect, Flux Mini. It's actually the first time I'm using it, so I was playing around. So next, I used another filter. First time I'm using this as well. filter step. So what I did, I just randomized. If you press this random button, it can give you any values there. Then lastly, I use Lunar Lander. Normally, Lunar Lander, you use it on the send effect, but I don't know. I just used it on this insert and it sounded nice. So I left it there. Thank you for the time, for listening, for watching. Stay blessed and keep living large.
Hey everybody, Vortex here, and if you're not aware yet, we now have over 100 fully edited mobile music tutorial videos. And we make music every single Wednesday live on our channel right inside of Cubasis on our iPad. Plus, we also have a bunch of free sample packs, guides, and more at our website at MobileMusicPro.com/free. And so if you are into that sort of thing, producing music on your iPhone or iPad, then definitely make sure to subscribe and check out the rest of the videos on the channel that we know you'll love.